Okay, so we're going to talk about the different platforms that you can use to advertise. Now, this is advertising to your distributors to gain their attention through your brand identity and building up that awareness, and also targeting buyer groups as well to create interest so that your distributors or channel partners or anyone that you're trying to bring into your business works the same for employees to see that you are someone that they want to work for, that there is some kind of message that you're constantly delivering and that you're firmly planted on the ground, that you're a good business to work for. So you've got all these different types of mediums. Look, they come and go. That's the thing about social media and various different advertising platforms. Sometimes they're great and they have a very low cost attributed to them. And then suddenly over time that cost increases and they become less attractive. And then other mediums pop up and then you can start shifting your attention towards them. So don't get too hung up on one or the other. The question is what is useful for you? And what we're going to do here is look at what I believe are the mainstay examples. I know TikTok is coming up at the moment. It's 2020 and TikTok is really taking a huge market share, at least in the US. But I haven't advertised with them, so I won't be talking about them. But I am going to talk about the ones that I'm very familiar with and that I know will be around for quite a long time. And I know that, like I said, I won't be speaking about the specific campaigns to do with each one, but I am going to talk to you about the companies in general because they'll always tweak what they can allow you to do, but they'll always allow you to do something provided you're paying. Okay, so banner advertising and display advertising, it's not dead. People still go to websites. We don't live in apps. We do go to websites, and there are also banner ads and display ads within apps too. Very, very useful. You can use Bing, Yahoo, Google have huge networks. And of course, banner ads are buying space like this that exists anywhere on a page of any sort. What you want to get comfortable here is media buyers. What are media buyers? They buy media. They buy digital assets like this and they buy it in bulk. On your behalf, they have pre-existing relationship with entities like this that you can tap into so you can get a better price point for what you're looking at. And they also assist you with things like geo-targeting and search term retargeting. What are those two things? Well, they relate directly here to banner display and banner ads on your phone, which is essentially a device ID. This is essentially something that can be tracked, right? So, the way you can open up maps on it, it knows where you are. It's not selling your personal information, but it is selling the information on the phone's ID itself in terms of where it kind of moves around. So you can essentially, if let's say I'm Audi or BMW and I want to target everyone that sits or goes into a Mercedes-Benz dealership, I can literally geo-target or geo-map every Mercedes dealership within the territory I want to advertise to. And I can literally advertise through display ads to anyone that's walked in and out of those locations. So it's a really powerful tactic it's almost like having a salesperson inside that location, sales pitching someone who walks in. What I mean by that is having a BMW sales rep inside a Mercedes-Benz dealership. It's very, very similar. So geo-targeting is very powerful. Equally, search term retargeting works in a similar fashion in the sense that anyone who's, let's say, Googled or looked at, say, for instance, Mercedes-Benz, gone to their website, they've accepted the cookies and they've said okay to that when they've gone to their website and they've left that website. And now when you're looking at your Facebook or your Instagram or whatever website you're looking at, you're now going to start seeing not necessarily advertisements from that company itself, let's say the Mercedes garage, but maybe you're seeing Audi now pop up or BMW pop up or some other kind of car brand or dealerships themselves popping up as advertisements within your feeds. So display ads are very, very useful, very powerful, and not always the most expensive, which is also quite good. Email. This is the most traditional. So as far as email is concerned, you've got your targeted campaigns to your opt-in subscribers. You've got your retargeted campaigns to your opt-in subscribers. What does that mean? So the people that you've emailed, say you have 1,000 people and 10 people open that email, you can retarget the 10 people that open the email with a follow-up email. You have bots and drip campaigns. I have email mailing software, that literally will send out emails at certain periods. It will recycle all emails. It will do, you can really control these things to do whatever you want with them. So emails have been around for a very long time. So the technology that is available for, I guess, manipulating how they can be used in a sales function is very, very matured. So there's a lot out there for you to use. Fact is, I always like to touch on this point here. Opt-in subscribers. A lot of people think that that's just the people that have opted into their company. What actually, from a legal standpoint at least, what that means is you can actually contact list providers where people have opted into certain things, and you can start advertising through list providers. So it doesn't just mean who's come to you. You can actually outreach to, let's say if you're selling real estate investments, I can tap into a list provider who has real estate relevant people on their mailing list, and they have opted in to receive advertisements for third parties. I can now be that third party that advertises through them. So bear that in mind. It doesn't mean just all the people that you have, because you may have a small list that you want to tap into a larger one. So that's emails. Text messaging is becoming really good, in terms of an advertising tool in today's world. The open rate for a text message is 98%. I gave you the example that we had 1,000 people and say 10 people open an email. The opposite is the same, with text messaging. When you get a text on your phone, you open it. You may immediately delete it, but you open it to look at it. And if it's eye-catchy enough, if there's a picture in there, there's more of an opportunity to grab someone's attention when the open rate is 98%, where the reverse is the same with emails, where it's only potentially 0.3% open the emails that are being sent out because your inbox is bombarded. So you've got traditional texting, but you've also got social media direct messaging. If you've noticed today, a lot of people, if you sign up to certain websites, you're signing in through Facebook Messenger, your Facebook, and then you'll start to actually receive messages through Facebook Messenger as an advertisement. This is now happening. So it's transcending from just text messaging in a traditional sense, but now through to direct messaging through social media platforms, because a lot of people are communicating in that fashion too. You have a lot of retargeting strategies there. So for everyone who's opened your text message, you can have, again, bots and drip campaigns that can send another text message soon after. Or, the typical, are you interested in XYZ? Respond yes if you are, or no if you want to stop receiving these messages. You respond yes, then another automated text comes into play. That's an example of that. Very, very good when you're trying to sell anything. Okay. Great way to get people interested. Let's talk about Facebook, a mainstay social media platform. You've got advertising campaigns, because this is great about Facebook. You can target just desktop users. You can retarget just desktop users. You can send advertising campaigns out to retarget mobile users. And again, you can retarget to mobile users too. Then you also have live streaming and then retargeting the live stream. Live streaming is an algorithm. It works off an algorithm that Facebook's putting a lot of effort in, at least right now, in prioritizing anyone who's live streaming anything. So if you're doing like a live, for instance, this teaching module here, if I was doing this live on Facebook, the longer I did it, the more people that watched it, the longer they were engaged with it, the farther out it would would reach, essentially. Facebook would be trying to put this in front of as many people, to pull as many people in to watch this as possible. And the longer they stay in there, the more powerful that algorithm becomes. So there's lots of different things that you can do with Facebook at the moment. I mean, that's something that they're doing now. I won't talk about too many. There's tricks or things that you can do at this moment in time, because of course those things can change. That algorithm I just mentioned may not work the same next year. So bear that in mind. But they do have retargeting and they do have targeting. That's always, I think, going to be there. And Facebook as an entity probably isn't going to go anywhere anytime soon. Twitter. You can promote tweets. You can promote your accounts, and you can promote certain trends. You pay for all of these. These aren't organic, but they're available to you. Twitter is an option. You can always use Twitter. Instagram. Similar to Facebook, but slight differences. Image-rich advertising campaigns on Instagram. You can retarget those image-rich campaigns. Stories and click-through campaigns. These are when you look at someone's story and then they say, hey, swipe up. You swipe up, it then takes you to another space, another website. That's a click-through campaign. And of course, you've got the live streaming and the retargeting with that comes along, very similar to Facebook. YouTube, another big one. I love YouTube because outside of it just being a social media platform, or a place where people can communicate socially, it's actually a search engine. You ever notice when you go onto Google and you type in a certain thing, how do I do X? And then you'll get a list of examples or search results. And of course, you also have some videos there answering the same question too. That is because YouTube is a search engine from Google. And unlike Facebook, where I can put a video up today and a couple of weeks from now, it's going to be really it's going to be really deep in my feed. You'd have to really want to find that video to go and find it. You couldn't search for it. Whereas with YouTube, when you put something out on YouTube, it has a very long lifespan, because whenever you type in, how do I do X, that video may keep coming up. So it's constantly advertising for you. So you also have the retargeting campaigns for the desktop users, and you have the same thing as Facebook in the sense that you can do it with mobile users too. And of course, you've got the live streaming and the retargeting with YouTube. LinkedIn, pretty much the same, slight differences. The only platform here owned by Microsoft. So you've got sponsored updates, targeting relevant prospects by groups. So people that set up groups, if you're dealing with, especially any kind of serious profession. But to be honest with you, that was an old stigma with LinkedIn. I mean, you're finding, fitness enthusiasts having groups on LinkedIn now. So things that you would have thought, oh, that wouldn't be on LinkedIn because they're not lawyers or headhunters or business consultants or that sort of thing, or advertising people. More and more people are getting involved with LinkedIn right now. It's becoming a bit more open in that sense. So groups are really good. It's like the forums within LinkedIn, and you can actually send or pay for sponsored ads to a specific group. So if I'm trying to talk to the Dubai real estate investment group and there's 5,000 members on there, I can actually have ads sent into that group. Sponsored updates, targeting relevant prospects by skills. So I can also target anyone who is interested in hot yoga, or if I'm being really open, or if we start looking at anyone who's interested in, quantum physics, I could just have ads targeting those people. Let's say you're selling a book about quantum physics. Text adverts, targeting relevant prospects by groups, not text messaging, just text adverts. And you also have these like messages, they're in there, so it goes into their direct messages box. Outreach service is lots of other companies out there this is kind of like media buys. They have, essentially groups that they're part of, that they own. So they set up groups. I have a group for real estate investments in Dubai. I have one for London. I have one for this. Or I'm in the fitness space and I have fitness, gym owners, health and fitness owners, CEOs of all sorts. So it could be beauty. It could be health, like gyms. It could be anything to do with health and fitness. And they have groups in various different countries. And what they'll do is they'll have marketing options for you to be able to market within those groups. So those are the outreach services I'm referring to. Live streaming and retargeting. LinkedIn is doing, like everyone else, a lot of live streaming options now. So very good for you. Finally, Google, the old winner, the king, but very expensive. Remember that. Pay per click. I mean, I've many a month I've spent around $60,000 and seen nothing. Got lots of click-throughs, website traffic went up, but just nothing. Just was very expensive, burnt through a lot of cash, and didn't get the results I wanted from it. And that's why a lot of people have shifted through to the others. But Google hasn't gone away, and they will always figure out a way to remain competitive because, well, they're just too big, right? So let's be honest. Search advertising targeting desktop users. You've got the search advertising targeting mobile users. So your cell phone markets out there. You've got the remarketing, the retargeted adverts to both of those groups. And you've got prospecting adverts targeting desktop users and mobile users. So very, very powerful. I mean, Google Analytics is the oldest, it's the king there in regards to Google. So in regards to advertising. So I would say spend a lot of time with Google and figuring out everything that you can have it tap into as far as Google Analytics are concerned. A lot of platforms, a lot of funnels that you use. You can use Google Analytics to understand what's going on and then actually use those social media platforms to retarget them if you can find them on there as well. So lots of things to do. But the fact is, remember, I have not been telling you this so that you can go and spend a whole bunch of money on those platforms. I'm not telling you this so that You start trying to figure out nifty little marketing tricks. Otherwise, that's what we would be focusing on. If that's what it was, I would have the next 10 slides. Trick number 1, make video, post video, choose demographic. And then here's how you get your click-through rate up. And I'm not doing that because that's not necessary. That's what your distributors are going to do. So let's keep that in mind here.